Greetings everyone, we're delighted to be here today and we hope you find very useful and pleasant what we have to present. We are Gabriela, Inês, Sara, Stephanie and Pavel, students from University of Aveiro along with the Erasmus Plus program. For today's presentation, we are going to provide explanations and analysis on our final project for the curricular unit of Business English, a social media communication plan for a fair food project. For this, we did several research on the Mediterranean diet and healthy lifestyle, such as all it takes to create an effective digital marketing strategy. The reasons why we chose certain social media and additional topics that will be mentioned throughout the presentation. For example, the survey to understand and define our target market. We're glad for having the chance of retaining knowledge about other cultures and marketing.
Due to globalization and tight schedules, people have started to eat poorly, without all the needed nutrients. And fair food is there to help. We aim to supply information on nutritional education, on the importance of eating naturally, and how is it related to the impacts on the environment. For this, there is no better combination than the Mediterranean diet, since it encourages the consumption of fresh, seasonal and local foods. The main objectives of fair food are to identify and preserve knowledge about products and traditional methods of production, conservation and consumption of foods at risks of disappearing in the Mediterranean zone as a way to preserve the cultural legacy, disseminate knowledge with the collaboration of opinion leaders and influencers among the population in general thought, presential and online workshops, and using social media networks as our main source of reaching the public. Encourage entrepreneurship and businesses, respecting the environment and improving their appeal and competitiveness, attracting and fixing the population.
The Mediterranean diet is a way of eating based on the traditions some countries around the Mediterranean Sea used to, where they had low numbers of chronic disease and high lifetime, even having limited medical services. It is typically high in vegetables, fruits, whole grains, beans, nuts and seeds, and olive oil. The main components of the Mediterranean diet include high consumption of vegetables, fruits, healthy fats and grains, moderate portions of dairy products, and limited intake of red meat. The health benefits linked to the diet are supported by scientific evidence. It is linked to the several health benefits, including a lower risk of cancer, mental and heart disease, also obesity, and diabetes. It is considered one of the easiest diets to follow long-term because of the flexibility and the easy access of the foods. There is a strong focus on social and cultural aspects, such as shared meal times, not in a rush in front of the TV, resting after eating, and regular physical activity. Nowadays, however, the diet is no longer followed as much as it was a few years ago. One of the main reasons for us to bring it back, so we have some valuable tips on how to include the diet on people's lifestyle. Always eat breakfast, eat seafood twice a week, cook a vegetarian meal one night a week. For desserts, eat fresh fruit and use good fats.
So, marketing as it was originally intended in its fullest and greatest form is more important today than ever before, especially considering the days that we're living. Today, the world is awash in innovative products, services, technologies, solutions, and many more things. These new offerings must be brought to the market and then commercialized in order to generate profit. Innovation alone cannot sustain a company, it must be paired with marketing. This marketing is about connecting the right customer to the right product. It helps sales teams and people throughout the company thinking from the outside in about what is being offered, convey its value in customer-centric ways, and persist through barriers that can only be addressed through deep customer knowledge and insight. It seems logical that performance is maximized when a business produces a creative marketing strategy and achieves marketing strategy implementation effectiveness. However, cultural tensions and resource competition may make it difficult or even impossible to achieve both. So it's very important for researchers to investigate those conditions so that we can provide managers with guidance regarding where to allocate their limited resources.
To collect data about the possible target market of the fair food, a questionnaire was created. The target market can be defined as a group of people that possesses the same or similar profile or characteristics of how they stand as a consumers. The general characteristics of the target market for the projects were set as follows. People between 18 and 45 years old who are still studying or are already finished with the university studies and are not making the best choices concerning their health and want to improve that. Then the questionnaire was distributed among university students, and altogether 22 responses and 22 completed questionnaires were collected. As you can see in the first graph, majority of the respondents were among 18 and 19 years old. 18 of them were female and just 4 respondents were male. From these, half of the respondents lived with their family, another 10 respondents with their friends, and just 1 with a partner. In the next questions, we ask about if the respondents practice sports or a physical activity. Here, just 8 of the asked people responded yes, they do, and the rest that they do not. Considering the preparation of meals in advance, 13 of asked said that they prepare it sometimes, 5 that they just prepare a quick meal, and 2 prefer takeaway, and just 2 said that they do prepare meal most of the times. Relating to another question, more than half of the respondents eat out 2 to 4 times per week, 5 of respondents once per week, and 5 very rarely. As we can see in the graph, none of the respondents eats out every day. Regarding the view of people about the diet, 14 of the respondents do not think they have a healthy diet. And moving to another question, here results brought the information that just 4 respondents read the list of ingredients of food, 9 of them read it sometimes, and 8 do not read it at all. We received some interesting suggestions as well on how to improve the eating habits. For example, start to cook more at home, being more concerned about meal preparation, eat more fruit, fish, and vegetables, and less meat, or have a breakfast. What is surprising is that majority of respondents are familiar with the Mediterranean diet, and they are also interested in environmental issues.
When it comes to persona marketing, it refers to an image of an ideal customer that a business is trying to attract, the real humans. Considering the Fair Food Project, it tries to reach people who want to improve their lifestyle through a healthy diet by using natural products. And for the purpose of the social media plan, 2 particular personas were created. First persona is a representation of a young woman named Maria, and she is in her 30s, earns about 5,000 euros per month, well-educated, and living in her own apartment. She believes in productivity, self-development, and leadership. As an owner of a distribution company, she is aware of the environmental issues and she tries to develop more sustainable fabric. Maria cares about her health and what she eats. However, she spends a lot of time at work and doesn't have time to prepare healthy food and search for a lot of information. She is therefore looking for some information that is valid and one place that can help her.
One may wonder why we chose to use social media as a means to communicate with people. Currently, there are 3.8 billion social media users, which equates to about 50% of the population. Moreover, almost 90% of the youth and young adults are connected on the internet on a daily basis. Hence, this is the best way to reach our target market, get them interested, and make them stick with us for long. Moreover, nowadays every company or project has a social media platform to be seen in the digital world, so the lack of above-the-line advertising techniques doesn't help with the effective promotion of service.
When it comes to social media platforms of our choice, we decided to go with two of them. First one is the Facebook, which is the most common used social media platform, with over 2.7 billion users, of whom over 60% are users of the age of 34 or below. In addition, from Europe itself, Facebook has almost 400 million users. Their second choice landed on the Instagram, which is used by over 1.2 billion users, of which one-third lives in Western Europe. And that number is still growing, over 25% of increase over the last 3 years. Furthermore, 70% of Instagram users are in the age of 34 and below.
Okay, now let me walk you through the content of our posts. So we use the mirroring technique, which means that we posted the same things on both platforms, Instagram and Facebook. But before we jump into this, let's take a look at our logo. So we used an elegant font to write Fair Food and also the catchline of the project. And then we chose two colors, beige and green, because they represent nature, calmness, purity, and reliability. And we believe that these are the values of Fair Food, and it's the first thing that we think of when we think about this project. Now I will proceed to the content of our posts. So we aim to make everything look as elegant and as tidy as possible. Our first post was an introduction of the project. We thought that it was vital for people to know what our mission was, what we intended on doing on those platforms, and because I think it's very important for people to know what we stand for when they're following our pages. Okay. On the descriptions, we went for something a bit lighter. We took advantage of the emojis. We used them in an aesthetic manner. In the beginning of every sentence, we used an emoji related to the post. It added a bit of color and fun to the description, and it made it easier for the follower to read everything that we wrote, and they were all very useful tips or recipes of the posts. The next posts were a variety of healthy recipes, such as an oatmeal pancake, some creamy Mediterranean pasta, avocado toasts. Then we made posts about nutritional tips. We also made a shopping list with ideas of Mediterranean products and so on. We believe that this mix of posts was perfect due to differential yet consistent content. We also exploited the hashtags because they are very important due to the algorithm of these platforms. It makes it easier for people to find us when we use hashtags related to the content that we are sharing.
So, what about the future? While looking into the future, our intention is to stay consistent with our plan to create posts that will spread the main ideas, missions, and values of Fair Food. With that, we will also be monitoring the market and the feedback of our followers to make sure that we provide the best, most suiting content possible. That is all from us. Thank you for your attention and have a nice day.